AITA for telling my sister-in-law that her side hustle makes her a bad person. Story 1. My brother 33M and his wife 30F have 2 young boys 31. My wife and I have a 5-year-old son, so over the years we have given them quite a few items that we no longer used needed. Crib, clothes, toys, various baby items, etc. Most of the things were just taking up space in our house and we knew they would put them to use, so we had no problem giving them away. We visited them a couple weeks ago for their 3-year-old's birthday party. During the party, Sil mentioned that she has been selling off a bunch of baby stuff as a side hustle. Both she and my brother are the youngest of their families, and she said that they get so many hand-me-downs from their siblings that they couldn't keep track of them all. Her solution was to start selling these gifts off online to make a few extra bucks. She was basically bragging about it. I told her that is a pretty crappy thing to do, considering that these items were given to them as gifts that they willingly accepted and were expected to use. I asked her if they had sold some of the things we have given them, and she laughed and said that she was sure she did, because we've given them a lot of stuff. I told her that if I had known she was going to sell those items off, I would have given them away to someone else or donated them to a local non-profit that helps young mothers in need. She got defensive and told me that it's not like she's making a lot of money off these things, just a few bucks here and there. I told her that the people buying those items are probably the same people who would benefit from getting them for free, and that she's taking advantage of them. She went off about how hard things are with the economy right now and how they need all the help they can get financially. Mind you, both she and my brother have college degrees and work full-time. I know raising kids is expensive, but they aren't in dire straits. I told her that she probably shouldn't expect us to give them anything else in the future, and I would probably suggest to my other siblings that they refrain from doing so as well and look into other options for donating things. She got defensive again and told me that she doesn't feel like she's doing anything wrong. I told her she's entitled to feel that way, but my opinion of her as a person is now lesser because of this. She said that selling things they don't use to make a few bucks doesn't make her a bad person, and I told her that considering they were given these things for free, it kind of does. By this point, other people had noticed our conversation and my brother stepped in to end the conversation before things got too heated. He told me I should mind my own business and that if I don't want to give them anything else in the future, that's my choice. But that I took this too far by calling his wife a bad person for selling things they don't use. First comment, NTA. I'm with you on this one. Selling a bulky item here, where there wouldn't be a big deal to me, the secondhand market for baby stuff is huge, and a discount on a big-ticket item can be a win-win for both parties. But calling it a side hustle and bragging about how much money she's making off of her family's generosity doesn't sit well. Guess she's never heard of the concept of paying it forward. I don't think you're going to convince her you're right though, so I would just avoid the subject moving forward, and donate your things to a charity or local buy-nothing group instead. Second comment. NTA sounds like Sil is accepting things she knows she can't or won't use to sell them. You never said she was a bad person, just that you no longer think so highly of her. If she used the things then sold them because she had no one to pass them on to, but it doesn't sound like that's what she does. End the gifting to her, but some people may not mind what she does as long as they don't have to go to the hassle of trying to get rid of things no longer want. Third comment. NTA, considering she's claiming it as a side hustle, she is definitely looking for things that she won't use and then sell. If it was just a couple big items they used and were done with, then you'd be the ah. But it seems like she's trying to milk every penny out of everyone's generosity, and I'm guessing has talked about how expensive baby stuff is a TCSCCC, so the family is like, here, take this stuff if you need it to use, not need it to sell it. She could also say, well, we don't really need that, or someone else has given us something similar to give you the choice of giving to her, selling yourself, or giving it to someone else, but I'm guessing she didn't do that so she can side hustle it. Story 2. AITA for refusing to make my son go on a camping trip after his stepdad and uncle told he had no choice? Not the a-hole. I share custody of a moody, emotional, cranky 11-year-old boy with his mom. I am very mindful and respectful that he's hitting puberty and give him space and boundaries. One minute he will give you the death stare for being in the same room, and the next minute he'll want to play fight because he knows I'm going to hug and kiss him. Right now, Ethan going through a phase where he doesn't any adult relative posting any picture or video of him on their social media account. The of exceptions is if you're between the ages of 14 to 25 and doing something fun or makes him look cool. His mom and stepdad love posting pictures of their family all the time. Ethan told them not to post pictures of him. His stepdad told him to not post family pictures without him is like letting him not shower or brush his teeth. It's sorta required. My son complained to me and I said, I'm not getting involved with how they run their home. To me, it's not a hill worth dying over. Ethan let them know how he felt. I had Ethan all week and he goes back to his mom's on Saturday. He refuses to go back because he doesn't want to go to the family Labor Day camping trip where he'll be photographed. I asked my son if this was really worth fighting over and he believes so. I spoke to his mom and she thought it was ridiculous. I said I agree, but this is just some weird tween boy power trip thing, so just promise not to take his picture. She refused. Now Ethan refuses to go on the trip. Last night his stepdad and maternal uncle called him separately. Both times resulted in Ethan crying. They basically told him his ass was going. That pissed me off. I called them both up and said my custody issues with his mom is none of their business. I agree it's stupid and a compromise could have been met. Now that you all inserted yourself into the matter, I have no choice but to let him stay here if he wants. His mom is mad at me. I told her to just drop it and you can take him for a few extra days when you get back. The situation has gotten too dramatic. It's not like he doesn't want to go back because he has to clean his room. He has to know that his stepdad and uncle are not calling the shots too. She is furious at me and says I'm encouraging bad behavior by letting him stay here. Ironically, I'm way more strict than she is. Edit: this has nothing to do with taking his picture. He loves having his picture taken with the older kids or the young adults because he thinks it makes him look cool. Anything to do with older people makes him feel like he's 5. First comment. You're NTA for not forcing him to go on the trip. But you shouldn't dismiss his valid feelings as stupid or just some tween power trip. I don't want people posting pictures of me on their social media either. A lot of people feel that way. Just because he's a child, that doesn't mean he shouldn't have a say in whether his image is put out there for the public to see. Second comment. NTA, how the FEK is it required to be photographed while camping? Unless he's El McPherson, it's a very simple thing. He has some personal autonomy even at 11. Just don't post him. This is going to backfire on them because he'll lose all respect for people that couldn't just do this one simple thing: respect him. You're doing a good thing here. He now knows that you have his back. And chances are good that a judge will see this as a reasonable request too. Third comment. NTA, you sound like a great dad. You have your priorities and you are respecting your kid as their own autonomous being instead of a prop or an extension of yourself. Most parents I know are not half as aware as you are being, and you are building trust with your son right now that will carry you through the rough teenage boy years. Maybe look up a couple of articles about the generation of children of influencers who are talking about how negatively being made public was for them. If you find a good one or two, you can send them on to mom. Story 3. AITA for selling my Eras tour tickets instead of giving them to my sister-in-law. Not the a-hole. A hole. Hi everyone, I'm 31F living in San Diego. About a year ago, I got 2 tickets to Taylor Swift's Eras tour for this December in Vancouver, Canada. My sister-in-law, 29F, has never been a huge Taylor Swift fan. She even was offered a chance to go to the Eras tour last year, but said no because she doesn't like her music that much, but I asked if she wanted to go with me and she said yes. Fast forward a couple of months and I am now expecting a baby. The concert is December 6th and my due date is December 7th. At first I was adamant I was still going to try and make it to the concert, but I soon came to the realization it just wasn't in the cards for me. I offered to let her have the tickets if she wanted to take her daughter, who is a big Taylor Swift fan, and she said she didn't want to go if I wasn't going. A couple weeks go by and I tell her I'm thinking about just selling my tickets, and she tells me she's still going with or without me, and that her nail tech wants to go with her, which kind of put me off a little, because they're my tickets and not hers to be deciding who is using them. She never even offered to pay me face value for them. Long story short, I end up selling the tickets for $4,000 in total, which will be a perfect little nest egg for me while I am on maternity leave. She has since completely stopped communicating with me. We were pretty much best friends before this. She doesn't reply to anything I send her about the baby, ultrasound pics, etc. Stopped sharing her location, and now is looking to go out of town the day of my baby shower, which has been planned for months. So AITA here. First comment. NTA. She never had a ticket in the first place. You had tickets, you were allowing her to be your +1. Then you were unable to go and out of kindness still were offering for her to take her child. Once she said no to that, she again had no tickets. Funny how she thought she could make plans with tickets she never paid for. Second comment. TA. I wonder if she wanted you to give her the tickets so she could sell them herself. No, you did the right thing. So she's sulking. She missed out on going to a concert. She missed out on making a killing with your tickets. You're not suffering because of her attitude. Third comment. Esh. She for not offering to help with the cost of a trip. Very presumptuous. However, you were taking her for free. You offered to take her for free. Then you offered her the tickets for free, but still wanted control of who used them. Then you sold them out from under her. The one ticket, yours, yes, I could see you selling. But you reneged on her ticket, and for that you are an ah. Learn to communicate.